This offseason could be a lot more exciting than most people are thinking. A lot of people have pointed towards the weak draft class and the weak UFA class, basically just completely writing off the summer before it even begins. But there's a bunch of teams in the need to completely overhaul their roster, and I think it's actually going to be one of the more exciting off seasons we've had in a while. I'm going to walk through everything that I think can make this summer really exciting. But if you're new here, I talk hockey every single day. I make shorts about everything, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Obviously, the really big one is the Mitch Marner sweepstakes. It's not very often that a 100-point player actually makes it to the UFA market, so I think there's going to be a bunch of teams lining up for his services. Each day, it seems like we have a new team that's the front runner. We've had the Knights, we've had the Mammoth, we've had the LA Kings, we've had the Blue Jackets, we've had the Hurricanes. So many teams are going to be lining up for his services. He's an amazing player. Sure, he's had a lot of scrutiny in Toronto, but let's not be mistaken here. He's still an amazing player in the league, and he has a really bright future with whatever team he goes to. A player that's not really getting a lot of love right now in the UFA market, and no one's really talking about it, is Brad Marchand. He's done amazing in these playoffs for the Florida Panthers, and he's a UFA. He still has not signed an extension with the Panthers, but I feel like after this playoff run, that's most likely what's going to happen. But if he does hit the free agency market, I'm going to be really surprised, and it's going to be really cool to see him get to pick what team he goes to. Up until this season, I didn't see him going any other team except for the Bruins for his entire career, but now that that gate's been opened, I could see him going to any team that's willing to pay him. He's been undervalued his entire career, so hopefully he finally gets that payday he deserves. Now, this one is really shocking. After the Dallas Stars' really disappointing loss in the Western Conference Final, it is being reported that Dallas is listening to offers for Jason Robertson, and I wouldn't have thought that he would move at all, but it seems like Dallas is already willing to listen to offers, and I could easily see another team going in and snatching him up from the Stars. He's an amazing player, and he's still super young with RFA years left, so I could definitely see a team like the Mammoth going out and trading their 4th overall pick. I think that would be a great fit to see Robertson go up to the Mammoth and absolutely kill it with all that young talent that they have there. Now, don't get me wrong, the Dallas Stars are still a very good team. If they don't trade him, he'll still have a lot of success there, but I feel like the Stars are just kind of fed up with choking every year in the playoffs and not making it back to the Stanley Cup Finals, so I think this might be the first domino to fall with what will probably be a lot this offseason. It might be hard to remember now, but at the start of this season, a bunch of people were writing off the Hurricanes. You have to remember that last offseason, they lost a lot of their top UFAs, and then it seemed like they couldn't really attract any of the top free agents there, so the talent that they replaced them with was not that great, but they still had some amazing coaching this season, and they were still able to motor along and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they continued to choke like they've done in recent years. Now, I do think this offseason, they are primed for a major shakeup in that regard. They have a ton of cap space and a ton of draft capital, primed for them to go out and hopefully take a big swing on a trade. I think it'll be super exciting. I know they're probably a little bit hesitant after the last 2 big trades in Mikko Rantanen and Jake Gensel didn't really work out, but I think they just have to go for it. So I think they just got to go out and take some major swings. Another team that's going to be super exciting to watch this offseason is the New Jersey Devils. The general manager already said at their end of season press conference that changes are coming to this team. They're clearly not good enough, and I think it makes a lot of sense. In the playoffs, they've been very disappointing. They didn't even make it last year, but I think they just need to completely rebalance out their roster. Sure, they have some amazing top end talent, but basically as soon as Jack Hughes went down, everyone wrote them off in the playoffs, and rightfully so. They got absolutely crushed in the first round, and I think they just need to go out and make a more balanced lineup. Timo Meyer was acquired, and he did amazing to start off in New Jersey, but after that grace period, he's kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of fans for underperforming, so I think there's a potential move there, but I do think there are some other pieces that could easily be reshaped on this roster, but nonetheless, it's going to be super exciting to watch New Jersey. Now, this is probably the most exciting one for me to watch this offseason, but that is the Nashville Predators. Now, obviously, this last season was a complete disappointment. They were the obvious winners in last free agency, and then none of those moves panned out, which was pretty hilarious to watch, but in terms of overall success on the ice, I don't know what they're going to do, because they can either go back to the rebuild strategy, or they can stay on this try and make the playoff strategy, but clearly this year they did not cut it. They were one of the worst teams in the entire league, so it'll be really interesting to see how everything plays out. And on top of that, I feel like this is kind of a do or die year for Barry Trotz. He's been there for a couple seasons now, and pretty much a lot of his moves are not panning out. It's going to be really interesting to watch Barry Trotz this offseason. He's made a lot of questionable moves that fans have been really angry about, so I don't know how big of a leash he'll have with Nashville. I would assume it's pretty long and his job's safe for a while, but a lot of his moves that he has been making are not panning out probably the way he's been hoping. In recent days, we've got some reports talking about how unhappy Jonathan Marchessault made it known that he was in Nashville after this disappointing season, basically saying that he'd be open to a trade. So that's another interesting wrinkle that could be thrown in for this offseason. I think it'll make it super exciting if the Predators just go out and either completely blow it up or just make some more big moves to try and make that playoff push. But the super fun thing about this offseason is that some of this can happen, none of this could happen, and possibly some other things could happen, which makes it super exciting because obviously no one knows what's going to happen this offseason yet. It could be a major flop or it could be an amazing offseason. So I am super excited to see what happens over the next couple months. There's going to be a lot in play, and I can't wait to see how the teams end up shaping up at the end of this offseason. If you made it this far in the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'm going to be making a lot more of this content, so make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.